Hello and welcome to another video about Cardano, and in this video we want to take a look at the Cardano price. We talk about 3 reasons why the Cardano price has dropped today, and we also, as always, first take a look at the Bitcoin chart, because this is eventually often what moves the market. And before we start, we do a brief summary of the previous video, just in case other people have missed it. The last video update came today, just like 6 hours ago or 5 hours ago, before that dip happened. And what I said in the video is, when we took a look at the Bitcoin chart, I said that I would believe that because we are in this bearish pattern at the moment, we will drop. And I was a bit concerned, I still am, about Bitcoin's losing momentum. So that eventually played out. I want to apologize actually, because I just listened to that video again. And for some reason in the first half of the video, I said that I believe the price will go up. But then in the second half of the video, I said like 4 or 5 times that that I'm concerned about the Bitcoin price at the moment and the price and the chart moves, and that if I had to make a guess, I would say the price is rather going to move down. So I don't know why I said that in the first half of the video. I mean, you need to remember I do these videos at lunchtime in my lunch break, so I'm a bit in a hurry. But yeah, I think in the video I forgot that I actually said that it potentially would go up. And looking at the Bitcoin chart, I only said that because of the moving average here, which was sort of providing some support. But yeah, as I said, if you listen to that video again, if you want to, the second half of the video was hopefully very clear and talked about the ADA price potentially dropping and the Bitcoin price dropping. So hopefully that prepared quite a few people of you, which would be great. And apologies again for that sort of miscommunication or slight contradiction in that video. But let's take a look at Bitcoin. What are we doing now? I spoke in previous videos about these 2 ascending wedges. So first ascending wedge is the yellow one, the main structure in which we're currently moving. That actually reintroduced, I would say, the bull market, because this is what we've been trading within since the 21st of July pretty much. And we have been trading within this channel or ascending wedge for a while now. It is basically providing an uptrend, which is nice. You know, it has taken us above the 200-day moving average on the 4-hour chart, but also on the daily chart. And what we need to remind ourselves is that the ascending wedge is a bearish pattern. I've been saying that for a couple of weeks now, that I'm concerned about this, and that also today I said that I'm concerned about Bitcoin's losing momentum. And you can clearly see that if we just draw a trend line here, just from this to this top, I mean, you can clearly see how steep the trend was at the time, the red line now. But if we I can zoom in a little bit, but if we now connect this top here with these latest tops, we can see that the trend line is moving down a little, and that is not necessarily a good sign. It means that the price is moving momentum. Sorry, I wasn't very accurate here, but you get what I mean, I hope. And this is pretty much what you can see on the RSI as well. So if you've ever wondered what the RSI is, you know, it's not exactly that, but pretty much it is that story that we see still higher highs, but that the highs are that the price has more and more difficulties to increase and go higher. So even though we make new highs, they are getting it's getting slower and slower, and the highs get less high, if that makes sense. So we can see that on the RSI, it's actually dropping. We've got that, it's also called a bearish divergence, whereas the price is actually going up, but the RSI is going down, and it has been going down since pretty much the beginning of this boost. So on the 21st of July. So for me, to be honest, that is concerning. And I mean, I made a video a couple of weeks ago, actually pretty much before this channel really kicked off. And I talked about, could a bear market start earlier than we all expect? And I shared a few reasons for that. So if you want to check that video out, you can find it on my channel. I still believe we should see Bitcoin, you know, probably around the 100K this year. I want to believe it, and I still believe it. Nevertheless, it is slightly concerning. And even if we now get a major price drop, it doesn't mean that this is necessarily the end of this bull cycle. What we need to remember, look at that. I mean, this was back here in December 2020, when prices went up like crazy, and then we had a drop off. Let's take a look. What was that drop of Bitcoin? And I mean, I talk about Bitcoin, but it's so highly relevant for Cardano as well. I mean, we dropped like 30%. And after that, you know, it took a while until we saw the all-time high. So this is something that could happen again. And let's just assume we drop another like 30% from here. Where would we land? We'd actually land around like 35k. So honestly, this is nothing impossible, guys. This can happen. I just want to remind you, and it doesn't mean that we then will enter a bear market. I know if that happens, many people will just be shocked, but it could actually be our way out of this ascending wedge, which eventually is a bearish pattern. So it might not be that bad, and actually if prices go down, it's good for people like me who are long-term holders. So I just wanted to re-emphasize, if prices go down, don't panic, please. But eventually you need to come to your own conclusions. But now let's take a look at Bitcoin, at Cardano. But maybe before we take a look at Cardano, what could prices do? Well, luckily, I said today already that if we go down further, we will find support, first of all, here on the 50-day moving average. And we did here. This is the 4-hour chart. And yeah, it provided support pretty clearly. Next one for me would be down here at 47. I said we could now go down to 47. I said that today because this is the main support line of this ascending wedge. Now luckily we haven't been there. So hopefully we don't get there. Hopefully we will at some point here bounce off the 50-day moving average. Sorry. And maybe go up again. So I'd like to see increasing prices, but nobody knows what's going to happen at the moment. After such a consolidation, we need to wait what's going to happen. Do we find support here? Do we see some green candles? And yeah, you can observe that yourself. And hopefully we do. We just need to find support here. I hope we don't drop below this level. It's crucial, like the 47. If we drop down to 47, for me, that's not concerning. If we drop below that, I think there could be a bit of a sell-off, possibly down to the 200-day moving average here at 42. But again, this is only the 4-hour chart. We will need to take a look at the daily chart as well. But I don't want to bore you with Bitcoin. We are going to take a look at Cardano now. Let's take a look at Cardano. So first reason, that was already the first reason why the price of Cardano dropped today. Because, you know, eventually, if the price of Bitcoin drops, the price of ADA pretty certainly drops as well. Now, what's the second reason that the price of ADA dropped? The second reason is that we've made some pretty impressive gains over the last few weeks. And pretty much after every pump, we've seen a consolidation. So we saw that here when there's actually from the 10th of August, we pumped and then we saw a consolidation. We pumped and saw a consolidation. And to be honest, what did we see today? 7%, 7.5%. I mean, honestly, people talk about a crash already. I mean, look at what we did back then. We went down like 13%. And you know what happened after that? A new all-time, well, we went to new all-time highs pretty much. What happened before then? We went down again 10%. It's totally normal. It happens every other week. So please don't be like shocked or don't be concerned. I mean, even here, I mean, this was just smaller price moves, but even there, like 5%. So that's normal. It's normal in the crypto market. It's normal for Cardano, where the market cap is not as huge as, for example, Bitcoin. So just normal. So again, here, what happened, and just a few days ago, and people always tend to forget that, but just a few days ago, we went down like, yeah, again, pretty much exactly 7.5%. Pretty, you know, honestly, exactly 7.3%, what we can see here at the moment. Nothing to worry about. What was slightly worrying was that it really went quite fast, yeah, quite steep, quite a bit of a big candle, bloody big candle. But if we take a look what happened before, we're just going to zoom out a little bit and move to the left and take a quick look. Just remember or remind ourselves what happened last time before the all-time high. And before the all-time high, not only before that, but also before the hard fork. So let's just find that hard fork date of the 1st of March. 1st of March, where were we actually? Back here, around now, even before that. Sorry, it takes quite long. Right, here. And just remember what we did there. I mean, look at this. Even here, we had apparently, we had one huge candle here. And how much did that one candle drop during the day? Wow. 20%. 20%. So it's highly volatile. I mean, I'm looking here at the 4-hour chart, look at candles with it, but it's just huge, these price drops. 18%. I mean, that's not how the candle closed, but you saw that within a candle, within a 4-hour period, prices moved in crazy ways, honestly. So, and even here, when we made that pump just before the Merry hard fork, we dropped again like 20%. So honestly, nothing to worry about. I just want to mention that to you. Don't panic. It's totally normal. And what you need to remember, please always do your own research. But I just want to communicate that at this moment, it's not a crash. It's a total normal correction or corrective move within a bull market. It's an upward trend. As long as we are above all the moving averages, we are in a clear upward trend. Especially the 200-day moving average is crucial for me here. And for me, that is very important. And that is the second reason why the ADA price dropped. Now, what's actually the third reason? The third reason is actually just what happens in financial markets. I mean, because you just need after these price increases, you just need these consolidations. And it's not just because, everybody's just saying, oh yeah, it's just what happens. No, it just needs to happen because this is what allows us to create or build new support levels. And you need these strong support levels that are forming if prices go up further, because then if prices go up further and it all goes in one go and we only see green candles and we don't have any support levels, if the price then eventually goes down, it will just go down straight away. It will not stop anywhere. It will just go down in one go potentially. And that is why it just needs to take a bit of time. Patience is key here, and the time is really, the time is really good for us. The more time passes, it really plays in our hands here. So one more thing I want to mention is also that at these points here, all-time high, obviously very hard to trade. But if we go into these uncharted territories, people definitely want to take profit. And if people take profits, just because they are all in profit, pretty much everybody's probably in profit at the moment, unless you really bought at the peak here, which is not necessarily bad if you're a long-term holder, but never buy at an all-time high. I've been saying that for a while now. But these are the weekends. Either the, first of all, people who want to make profit and sell, which then triggers people who've just bought at all-time highs to panic and sell their positions at a loss probably. And then you've got that sort of, like chain reaction pretty much, but it's not a huge one this time. And it seems like we're stopping already. I mean, we already see a green candle here, but we need to see how that plays out. But at the moment, it seems like that this really provides some support here. The 20-day moving average on the 4-hour chart. And I did say in today's video on ADA that I did, again, like in my lunch break, I did say we could potentially drop down to 255 and just have a look at where we landed. We landed at 257 or 260 today, 258, something like that. And, or here actually you can see 259. And I did say that because this is a support line that already provided really good support before, just a few days ago. So for me, that was a natural next support line and it played out. So actually I said we could drop down to the 20-day moving average, which we did, provided support, but then actually in the next candle, we dropped down to 255 and clearly it provided support. It bounced off and you can see that with the shadow of the candle here, or wick, how some people call it. So we bounced off and we are now already in the upper half of that candle. Looks bullish at the moment. And, if we just go by what happened before, that wasn't that critical here, that one. But it's just to see, what charts can really do. Then you get a red candle here, and then you get a trend reversal. We had 3 red candles here, a green candle of the same size, and then you can get another, bullish sort of trend. And, honestly, this is all depending on which... what is like the time period you're looking at. I'm currently looking at the 4-hour chart, and it would look different on the hourly chart. You see much more detail, and then we talk, you could have a positive trend on the 4-hour chart, but maybe at the moment a negative downtrend on the 1-hour chart. But we can see here very clearly that on the 1-hour chart, really this 255 level provided really good support. So at the moment we even see an nearly engulfing candle here. So this basically is a bullish reversal candle pattern where the green candle is pretty much engulfing the red candle. To be honest, it's not entirely engulfing because it's quite close, isn't it? Now the next one is already green. So what I'd like to see really is a few more green candles here and us slowly going up in price again. Maybe again here on the hourly chart above the 20 and the 50-day moving average. But bear in mind, these shakeouts just need to happen. And 7.5% shakeout is pretty much what we saw before. I'd like to wait now if I can make out a clear pattern. We're clearly in an uptrend still. At the moment, nothing to worry about. And I think we will get there to the $3 fairly quickly. But Bitcoin is a bit concerning. I just want to mention that. Bitcoin is a bit concerning to me. And it could mean, I mean, when Bitcoin goes down, honestly, all the chart analysis and technical analysis that you do here isn't worth a lot. Because if Bitcoin suddenly does a big crash, Cardano will go down as well. Which is why I always look at Bitcoin as well. Want you to understand the potential risks that are in the market. But that even a 20% drop, should we see it for Bitcoin, doesn't necessarily mean that we have a major crash and that we enter a bear market again. We saw that before the last all-time high in May, various times, drops of 10, 20%, and these happen every few weeks or months in the crypto space, and they are totally normal. Now, what can we find any exciting patterns here or trend lines at the moment? Let's take a quick look. Just want to see if we can make some sense. Oh, see, beautiful. Just spotted that. How to draw a trend line, because some of you guys want to learn these things. So after a while, you get used to it and you can spot these pretty quickly. So these then can provide support levels or even form channels. So what we can see here, if you have at least 3 touches, because you can always connect just 2 points on a chart. So if you connect 2 points, you know, it's not really a trend line, but if you can connect at least 3 points, then that can form a trend line. And that is then a line that price action orients itself on. So we can see back here, which was actually on the 17th, 18th of August, we touched it, touched it again. Now we overextended from that, really overextended from that line. And now we've been touching it again. And as it happens, it's a beautiful support level, isn't it? So funny how that sometimes works out together with other support lines. And what you need to do, my rule to draw these is I never want to cut through a body. So what you can do, you can cut through the shadows or these wicks, yeah, but you should not cut through a body. So it's a bit difficult now because I just have my other laptop here. So what can we see here? So I've got 1, 2. Here I actually cut a little bit through the body, but even if I do that, I still have 3 touches. So I want to have at least 3 touches without touching a body or cutting through a body. The 4th one here, yes, I actually cut through the body, but it's still close enough. But it doesn't matter to me so much because I have 3 touches without cutting through a body. That's fine. For me, that's a trend line, and it clearly can see that this provided some support today. So we could orient ourselves on this trend line. And if we just compare that to, can we see a previous trend line? Not really. Just want to see sometimes these trend lines are really good to make out a change in momentum. So for example, if a trend line suddenly gets, for example, sure you have a clear trend line here somewhere. Don't want to spend too much time finding it now, but let's just assume you have a trend line here. I'm sure that is one. You can even have a channel here or something. But let's say we have a trend line here, and that was in the period from the 21st of July to whatever, the 14th of August. And that was a positive upward trend already. But then you have a higher, very steep trend now. So that's just the positive momentum. And, you know, as long as we can hold that, it is really, really bullish. At some point, we might break out of that and get a little bit less steep. And maybe, you know, I'll just draw that here. Maybe a little bit less steep, so maybe like that. And at some point then we might actually get something like that, which is when I would get concerned. Or not really concerned, because I'm not concerned about ADA, but, you know, if I wanted to take some profit, I would probably do it here, you know, not when it's going down. So that's how you can make out these tops actually, and peaks potentially. But at the moment, if I look at the trend line, we seem to be holding that at the moment, and this is providing some really good support. and it seems to be working out. So this could now help us to get through the to the $3 now, if we really can trade along this trend line. I think this might be a strong trend line, looking at it, how it looks and how many touches we had. And we've overextended a bit, but we're getting back to the trend line, and it seems to play out really well. So yeah, looking at the trend line, even looking at that, actually, I don't think we'll break down further. Just with that trend line that I just saw here, I don't think we'll break below that, honestly. It would now surprise me, because if we break below it, it will break the trend, and I don't think it will happen. I just don't think. It doesn't feel like it. And I could be wrong. That's just my feeling. And sometimes a gut feel is good. Honestly, if it's wrong, it's documented here on the video. But at the moment, I don't think it will drop further. And I could be totally wrong here, and it would be embarrassing. But it's just what I think. But even if it does, guys, please don't make any trading decisions because of that. Even if it breaks down, personally, I'm a long-term holder. For me, it's actually good if the price goes down, because then I can accumulate more ADA. And to be honest, in today's video, I just wanted to calm you down a little bit. I know everybody's concerned, but hopefully that upward trend line here helps you. But you can now check it yourself. If we drop below like the 260, 259, and the candle closes, it's just be a bit careful, or at least expect further price drops. As long as we stay above this 270 here, or it depends on when it happens, because you can clearly see it's a moving trend line to the upside. But today, basically, we shouldn't get below, not below like 265. So, and it looks pretty good at the moment. 260 here, and you can see short term we were already below 260, but the candle didn't close below it. So really nice how that sometimes plays out, and it shows that at the moment this trend line seems to be validated, because we have these touches, another support level, and it seems to play out really nice. So I personally, if I had to make a guess, I would say we go up now again. All right. Hopefully, what a pretty long video, actually. I hope it was not too long for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please smash the like button. And if you want to follow me on the scripted journey, please subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.